everyone, welcome to the Royal News Network Saturday morning live stream. I hope you all are doing so well today. I have a cup of Whittard's Christmas hot cocoa. I had to stop drinking this just because I wanted to make sure it lasted till Christmas. So I'm so excited to have it back. It's amazing. And so guys, I am so excited that you are here because this will be one of our last live streams of the year. We'll have one more next week. And yeah, it's almost Christmas. I hope y'all are getting ready. I still probably have to make one other run out to try to find things. That's what I've been doing this week. So I haven't had as much time to work on some things because it's like I've been rushing out to go do some shopping and stuff. And so it's like, not enough time. So guys, I just wanted to say hello and good morning. And we have a couple of exciting things already here. We have Laura, who has become a new member. Thank you so much, Laura. We also have Lisa, aka Your Boy, who gave a $10 super sticker. Thank you so much. And we also have Lisa, who's been a member for 3 months. Merry Christmas to everyone. Yes, Merry Christmas, y'all. I know people celebrate other things, but I do celebrate Christmas. So I'm going to say Merry Christmas because I think that's fun. So let's go on and just check up here on the stream already. And I usually do a little bit of an overview of this week. We have obviously Harry and Meghan attempting to make a comeback. I'm working on a video for that right now. They really do think they're going to have a bright 2024. I just don't think that's going to happen. I should see if I can I don't know how to do it on here, but we should do like a poll or something. Can Harry and Meghan really change things in 2024? I don't think so. And so I'm going to tell you why I think that is. And then we also have, obviously, Catherine and William have been pretty quiet, but we do have a trip for them upcoming to Italy next year, sometime in the spring, which I'm super excited about. Can't wait for that. So I'm anxious to see when that will be, because I may make, that may be worthwhile to make the trip out there because I haven't been to Rome in so long. And so that would be be a very busy and chaotic time, but it'd be a fun time to go as well. And then we also have, let's see, Crown Princess Mary and Frederick. They are back from Australia, where her family is, back in Denmark. There's obviously been some things about that. Oh, and it's Queen Sylvia of Sweden's 80th birthday. And they did a sweet little picture montage of her and her grandchildren blowing out the candles. And we also have a fabulous, amazing documentary coming up on the BBC regarding Charles and behind the scenes of the coronation. And that'll air the day after Christmas, if I remember correctly. And I'm really hoping it'll be on BritBox. Fingers crossed it's on there. So that will be awesome to see. And Princess Anne has done some amazing interviews with it. She was the only royal really interviewed. And she just gave it some amazing comments about how the Queen really knew that her time was coming. She was like in her final days and she knew it and they knew it. And so I think it really puts, and I almost did a video on this and I probably will, I just haven't had a chance yet, do a video on how Harry and Meghan, like, it's just incredibly apparent. Like, everybody knew she was dying and Harry and Meghan made no effort to visit her because, they can't visit unless they have the security they want. They don't have the security they want from the state, then they're not going to visit. And once you know it, of course, she did pass away. And somebody I know in my Twitter comments was like, oh, she, well, they probably thought they had more time. And it's like, no. The Telegraph says explicitly, or the interview with Princess Anne says explicitly, that they all knew she was dying. They all knew it. They all knew her time was coming. She knew she probably would die at Balmoral. She debated that. And so there are just so many things there that they all knew. So this wasn't a thing where she's just older and maybe, she might have a longer period of time because her mother is like, no, I think she probably had some sort of illness, probably. And they knew she was dying. They knew that. And so I think that is absolutely abhorrent of Harry and Meghan. And it makes them look really, really bad because when I mentioned that on Twitter, oh my gosh, the Sussex stands went crazy. And I got like one of my first times, like true bots. I mean, I know I have bots on there, but it's like bots where it's like the same post and talking about like, and the post didn't even make any sense and got so much pushback from the Sussex stands. It's like, wow, you guys are really sensitive about this, but I'm only pointing out what's the obvious here. I'm only pointing that out. So if you have an issue with it, take it up with the people who decide not to visit Her Majesty the Queen in her final days. Sorry, guys, I got a bit of the sniffles. And so we have, just getting off here, we have Lizzie B. Cheers to 2023. It made us resilient and prudent to blocking negative energy coming from people, being united as family and full of harmony. I know for sure 2024 will be kinder to us all. I hope so. But given that I am on social media, I don't have high hopes. Definitely don't have high hopes for that. Okay, we have Jess, aka SBD Girls, star 88. My recollections may vary arrived this week, and I love it. Yay! I'm so excited. So I did some recollections may vary shirts, and I packed them all myself, and so I'm so excited. I saw that a lot of them had already been delivered, which is super exciting, and I love them. I think the quality is great because I could go with something else, but it's like I really like the quality, and I don't want to diminish the quality. So, but I do love the t-shirts, and I'm so glad you guys got them, and I still have some available if anybody wants them. They are just navy. I'm not wearing mine today. I'm wearing actually the same style of shirt, but one from our Germany and Austria trip, and it just says it's a dark navy, very classy. It says just recollections may vary in a sort of fancy cursive style script with a V-neck, and it's ladies fit. So if a gentleman orders it, I don't know what to tell you, but it works for the ladies. I don't think there's a huge gentleman's market, but if there is, let me know. Judith says, good morning all. Merry Christmas from Tennessee. Berkshire lady, good morning from windy UK. I heard it was busy or windy. So Berkshire lady says, how did you get to do that membership and status, Lisa? I don't know, because sometimes it does it with people, like giving you a special member for 3 months thing, and sometimes it doesn't. So something like this, I don't know why it does that and doesn't do that. I thought it did that for everyone, but I don't know. I really don't know how some of this stuff works. Allison says, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from NYC. Instead of hot chocolate or coffee this morning, I popped open some wine. Well, it is the weekend, so a little bit of a nice weekend. Yay. We have Trisha. Good morning from Virginia, USA. Happy holidays to all. Merry Christmas. We have Taurus Moon. I received my recollections. May very sure. Love it. Yay. I'm so excited. Wendy, good morning. And we have Sarah. Good morning. Love your show. And Wendy, I have to get back to you real quick in an email as well. We have Lily. Good morning. Jacqueline. Good morning, everyone. I can't believe I actually made it on time. It's going to be good morning. Hope everyone has a wonderful Christmas and New Year's. Yay. And we have Becky. Merry Christmas and getting my recollections. My very short this week was a great holiday beginning. Yay. I'm so excited people got them on time. I was really worried about that. And I just want to make sure people got them as quickly as possible. And just saw the blog that says Sussex duo had a wonderful, productive year, blah, 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 LOL. Yes. Obviously, like the PR push for Harry and Meghan towards the end of the year has been pretty intense. I've been really surprised. It's like, oh, they're going to do better. They're going to do better. But I'm like, but you guys haven't addressed any of the issues. Like none of these issues are going away. Like, you got to work hard. You've got to actually produce product, in this case, content. You actually have to do things. And I was like, I just looking through what was said and stuff. It's like, I don't see things getting any better for both of them. And that's why I did kind of do the tears versus cheers thing in the thumbnail. Cause it's like, Harry and Meghan, like if they're not ending this year in tears of their failures, they should be. They've had a lot of failure this year. And again, I don't think they're going to do enough to address it. And then Catherine and William, yes, they've had challenges, but I think they're ending the year on the high note as well. And they're going to do another tour. I wish it was to Australia and New Zealand. I was really hoping for that, but that trip is very, very pricey. I was just hoping to knock a continent off my list, but I think it'll be so exciting for them to go to Rome. That's such a pretty unbelievable locale. And so I'm really looking forward to it. It sounds like it'll be pretty short, so we'll see. Hoping it comes around the time of other royal events because it's nice to tack on a bunch together like I did in September. That worked out really well. Okay, so Becky, good for you, Allison. Wish I had some maybe next week. Anne says, they praise the charity and books from Spare to his win in court. I skipped the in-between honors and horror of this year. Yeah, Harry's win in court is like so minuscule, really. Like he's going on and on about it. And then Omid Scobie too was like so excited about his win in court. I was like, guys, that's really not a lot to like cheer about. But yeah. All right. We have November Girl Forever. Happy Christmas, everyone. Thank you for all your hard work bringing us these videos, Brittany. You are so welcome. They are so fun. I mean, I will say though, editing sometimes is hard. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I just power through it. And other times I'm like, oh, I don't want to anymore. But they are fun. Crunchy Dragon, one of our members, said, good morning. So happy there's a live today. Feeling bummed. This cheers me up. I'm on cold and rainy Oregon coast. Yeah, sometimes that rain and that cold and overcast can get you a little blue. So I'm glad this brightens your day. Crunchy Dragon says, I think Harry and Meghan may have flown the kids out to Costa Rica after they were already there. P. Dina, I think, initially was reporting that they were there without the children. I don't totally buy that. I mean, it could be true, of course, because maybe they went a couple days by themselves. But I'm really not going to go down that rabbit hole. I don't think it really matters at the end of the day, whether or not the kids were there in the first place or not. Who cares? But what I think is interesting, again, is the focus shouldn't be on, the kids are there or the kids are not there, or whether or not they're fake or not. All of that is not really it doesn't really have a purpose. What I think is really important to focus on here is that they're willing to go to Costa Rica, a place I would say is probably more dangerous than the UK. Not that it's not fairly safe, but it's less safe than the UK. But the danger in the UK is so high, they couldn't go visit his dying grandmother. It just doesn't work. It doesn't wash. It doesn't wash at all. And I think they need to be called out for that, because obviously that's a blatant lie. They don't care about security. They really don't. I mean, they do and they don't. They don't really care about their security when it comes to doing things they want to do. But when it comes to his family, it's like, oh no, it's too dangerous. We can't go. The security risk's too high, because, everybody cares about the kids who are the sixth and seventh in line to the throne, not, the second, third, fourth, who are more important. No, they care about Archie and Lilibet. I mean, that kind of thing is things I really want to focus on, not whether or not the kids were there at the place before or after. That doesn't really have any never mind to me. But Carol Ann says, has a good super sticker. Thank you so much, Carol Ann, and thanks for being a member too. Okay, let's see. Crunchy Dragon says, I also heard Scobie won't get another book deal since he cost the publisher money. Yes. If his publisher isn't suing the bejesus out of him or demanding he pay to cover the republication costs, they should be. That he's going around still declaring his innocence in the whole matter, I just think is absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, I wouldn't sign him. And obviously, too, I mean, it's not just that the Dutch publication is wrong. That's one thing. But he just went out and flat out lied about it. He lied about it for days. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I guess that was in another draft. And I was like, well, yeah, duh. Like, we all knew that. One of the things that bothers me so much is when public figures treat everybody else like they're idiots. It's like, no, I see through your BS. Please stop that. Like, I'm not stupid. And he must obviously think we're all stupid to not see through that BS. G. Anderson says, good morning from NC. Do we know if Catherine has many close female friends or if her 20s were just more centric around William? She definitely does have female friends. And I think she has a lot of good friends. And I think she's great friends with William, which I think is the foundation actually of a really good relationship, is a good friendship, because, passion and love fades. I think that's what's going to kill Harry and Meghan's relationship, is that they've made it all about the love story and not about the friendship that should be the foundation of a great love story. And because that love and that passion and all things fade, and what you're left with at the end of the day is a essentially a friendship. It's so amazing all the time celebrities complain about, oh, we're friends now. And it's like, yeah, that's the point in a romantic relationship, more or not that you just become friends. Not that you don't have the passion and love on the side, and that's not that stuff doesn't matter. But it's like, but when you say, you become friends, that's kind of how things go at some point. So she does have a lot of female friends, I think, or I mean, maybe I shouldn't say a lot, but I think she's one of those people who has a couple of really close friends. She's obviously very close with her sister, but they are mostly of the aristocratic set, and not all of them, but I'm sure many of them are. And they protect their own. They're not interested in going to the media generally. So none of her friends are going to go and gab really very much, because they all have their own lives to protect and everything in their own privacy. So that is what we shall see. We have Elizabeth. Merry Christmas. Thank you for your insights and videos. Thank you so much. And hello, Sugar Cookie, one of our members. Good morning. Happy holidays to everyone in Ohio. It says, yesterday I watched another channel show about Meghan's 3 miscarriage stories. She should have known it's not something to lie about. I mean, again, I'm I'm of the opinion it could have gone either way with the ones she publicized. Any other ones I don't know about, and I just don't put much stock in. Again, I like to go with the big reports we have from big media outlets. I think that's important, and not going down the rabbit trails too much. Terry says, hi, Brittany, Merry Christmas. On your upcoming trip to Scotland, will you be near Balmoral Castle at all? Any plans to visit it someday? We will not be near Balmoral. It's open. I don't know what times it's open, but I think it is open to the public, but in a very limited scope. And so you just won't get in there. Most of the time you could walk over and see the gate. But other than that, and I totally agree that they should have a private land. I think there's, obviously biking trails and stuff in there as well that people can utilize, but it's a area that's protected. So you just really won't see much of it. Again, and I think they do open up some of the estate to the public at certain times of year, obviously when the royals are not there. But no, we won't be probably going to Balmoral. And will I go to Balmoral? If it's like actually open, probably. But if it's not, probably not, because unless there was like, I know a royal is stopping by or a royal is driving by, then I might go out there. But other than that, I probably wouldn't. Joan G, did you read the Forbes article about the Sussexes destroying their brand and value? Yes. I think I know the one you're talking about. And yes, it totally discusses this issue that's not going away from them, which is that their brand is irreparably damaged. And really, they need a full reset. And I think the best reset to do is drop the titles. I think they don't need to be the Duke and Duchess of Sussex anymore. And they need to make that decision for themselves. And I think they need to do that. Like, I actually thought for Harry, a good rebrand for him is to say, I'm not going to go by Harry anymore, which is essentially a child nickname that his mother gave him. Now it is special, but I would say to him, hey, go by Henry now. Be more like serious and stuff and say, I'm going to go by Henry now. So anyways, I think that is the way they should go. But yeah, their brand is in the toilet. And again, I don't see anything of what they propose in their 2024 reset in these various articles, any indication that they will be successful in the slightest on it. I really don't. This fan says, how do you think the royal family will react to the Epstein situation with Andrew? Think Charles III needs to continue with what Queen E started? Yes, I think Charles should continue with what Queen Elizabeth started, but he can't go too far either. Again, it's this weird balance that he has to have with Andrew, because Andrew can decide to go the Harry and Meghan route as well. But I think when it comes to the Epstein thing with all the files being released, it actually might take a lot of the heat off Andrew and put it on other people. Because really, at the end of the day, most of the people who have been caught up in the Epstein scandal should thank the lucky stars that Andrew exists, because he is the one the media has focused on. And he is he participated in whatever crimes he did. I don't know what they are. I'm not going to go into the details on that and speculate too much. But other people did the same. And he's been the one who's gotten all the media attention from it. And yeah, he is the one who, and so if more names are released, that actually probably might be actually good for the royal family, because it takes more pressure off him. So we shall see. Azima says, why do you think the Sussex squad throw Andrew in our faces when Harry and Meghan are called hypocrites? Because that's the best thing they can come up with. Because they can't really stand on Harry and Meghan's merits. Because when I made my comment on social media about the Harry and Meghan, perfectly willing to go to Costa Rica and not to visit the royal family, a couple of people threw up Andrew. And I'm like, but Andrew visited his mother. Andrew's crimes, whether or not they're true or false or whatever, his alleged crimes, don't really have any bearing on the fact that, well, he did visit his mother. And like, oh, he's such a bad guy and he visits his mom. I was like, yeah. So what are you guys talking about? But it's that thing. And I'm not sure exactly which argument, logical fallacy this falls under, but they're throwing somebody in your face that really has no bearing on the conversation of a grandson visiting his grandmother. Andrew's situation has no bearing on that. Andrew spent time with Her Majesty the Queen. He was probably her most constant companion in her last months. And so this idea that, especially when they were in Windsor, not so much in Scotland, but in Windsor for sure. So this idea that somehow throwing Andrew in the mix somehow negates the fact that Harry and Meghan were not visiting the Queen before she died really has no bearing, because they're not the same situations. And so they do that in order to avoid actually focusing on what's going on. So that it's, if that makes sense. I can't remember which logical fallacy is it. Like ad hominem is when you attack the person, not the argument. And so again, it's another way to attack different aspects without actually addressing the argument. And so they don't have an answer for it, and that's why they do it. Philomena, one of our members, says, I just booked the Scotland trip. So excited. Me too. I love Scotland. It's an amazing place. It's been a long time since I've been there, but I spent about 3 months there and it was fabulous. And it's just amazing to look back at my pictures and like how I wish they were better. I actually had to go to Wikipedia and I was like, I need some better Scotland pictures because mine aren't so great. But it is an amazing country. And I can't wait to go up and visit the Isle of Skye. That will be truly, truly amazing. Kimberly says, how did I forget Ms. Pippa? She's adorable. Why, thank you. She is a doll baby. Absolutely. She is so, so sweet. And she is sleeping downstairs right now. I tried not to let her upstairs wild too much because she's a little dog and little dogs like to do little things that are naughty. So I tried to leave her downstairs and that's where she's been. And she hasn't really come up. She did discover the fireplace though. I've been turning on the fireplace and she thinks that is the bomb. I have pictures of her like in her bed in front of the fireplace, next to the fireplace on the floor, in her bed on the floor. Like she decides when she's hot. It's so cute. Anyway, she's a doll. She loves it. Robert Ross says, good morning from Pennsylvania, listening while delivering mail this morning. Why, thank you for being one of our postal employees. That is awesome because we all appreciate you guys this time of year. All right, we have, it's Megan like Regan. Megan like Reagan. Hey, hi everyone. Not sipping clever this morning. Nope. We have Joanne, one of our members. Good morning. Happy holidays from Arizona. We have Debbie. Danielle Photography says, I'm finally catching a live from Chicago. Merry Christmas to everyone. Merry Christmas. And we also have Tanya. Good morning, Brittany. The merriest Christmas to you and your family. Why, thank you. American Woman says, is everyone ready for Christmas? I still have so much to do. Me too. Me too, 110%. Awesome. And we have a tip here. Deandra, thank you so much. I am not a conspiracy theorist, but if I believed in one world order, it seems the monarchy is the only thing keeping the world from order. Their rule may that be why so many people are trying to get rid of the monarchy. Yeah, I mean, I guess that could be potentially the case. I think too, it comes down to a lot of this sort of hatred of the Western history and Western tradition. Somehow, like certain pockets of the West have come to view, they put multiculturalism higher than the values of their own culture. And yes, multiculturalism is good. Of course it is. And yes, we all live in cultures anymore pretty much that are multicultural. But I don't think there's anything wrong either with appreciating the history and traditions of our families. And you could argue that it's destroying the monarchy really just does undermine some of the great foundations of countries. You could think of maybe France, for instance, or something like that. Even though it has a strong tradition, the continuity of history, I think people diminish in a lot of ways. And you see this too, and they look at the tiaras and the jewelry that royal families wear, and they just see it, oh, it's an ostentatious display of wealth. And it's really not, because most of those pieces are sometimes 50, 100, hundreds of years old. In some cases of the jewelry, they take old jewelry pieces from the Napoleonic era or even before, and they put it into tiaras. And so I love Queen Marguerite Denmark's phrase, which is, it's not about the carats, it's about the centuries. And I think that's so incredibly true. We lack appreciation, I think, for the centuries. We see the carats, we don't see the centuries that made up those pieces and how old they are. And I think that's generally the case with monarchies as well, is that some people just don't appreciate the history and the tradition that they bring and this continuity to the past and the foundation of a country. I think it's incredibly important. I think it's something that should be valued more highly than it is. And it's just sad to see, especially as somebody like me who loves history. I love history. I love looking into the past and seeing the different things. And so I just think that is just a sad thing that people just don't have any appreciation or value to the monarchy in any ways. And so I think that will be obviously continuing to change over time. But yeah, it's I think having the monarchies, they serve an important function. So, yeah, I hope that that helps because I really do. I just love the monarchies. I think they are awesome, but I also love history. So that's maybe just me. And we also have this fan tip as well. Did you see where Princess Anne opened up a little bit more about the days around Queen E's final days? Yes. She talked about obviously how the Queen debated whether or not she wanted her final days to be at Balmoral, not because she was worried about transportation of her body back to London and everything. So she was very aware of her mortality in the instance. And so the family must have been too. So again, it puts Harry and Meghan in a terrible, awful light. It really, really does. And so she was very aware of it. The family was very aware of it. And then we also have that bit of her talking about how they when they took the crown off the coffin, she said she felt a sense of relief, that the line was continuing, that Charles was taking over, but that burden was off the Queen. And I think that's an amazing reflection. I love that reflection so much. I think that's fantastic and so, so true. All right. So let's keep going. Hannah says, good morning from Winter Springs, Florida, and almost 70. It's not quite that warm here, but I'm okay with being a little cooler. But yeah. Let's go. So many good more good Christmas wishes. Jan says, I'm looking forward to the Royals walk after church while the Wales is planning a trip to Rome. The other one is mapping out her parking lot tour. Yes, you're just never gonna compete with the royal family doing their walkabout after Christmas. I think that's so fun. I mean, there's a part of me that kind of wants to do it. There's a part of me though that we open our presents on Christmas Day morning. So it'd be weird to me to go and do something else. But also a part of me that's like, yeah, this would be awesome. All right, Elaine asks, do you know where we can watch Catherine's Together a Christmas concert in the US? Probably the app called BritBox. That was where it was last year, so I was able to watch it last year. And so it is an app that has British shows on it and stuff. So I was able to, I can't remember if I was able to watch part of Harry's interview. I don't think I was. But yeah, BritBox is probably the way to go because I was able to watch it there last year. Tanya says, did they think that they needed more security at Balmoral than the Queen herself? Essentially, yes. Essentially, yes. They think they need a ton of security, like a ton of it. And they are a higher risk than the Queen and 3 future kings. That's essentially what they were arguing. And so it's just, again, comes across as very ridiculous, very self-obsessed. But I think it's a way too for Meghan to control the situation and avoid visiting his family. All right, we have Deandra, another tip. Thank you so much. Do you think TP is guilty and will Harry and Meghan distance themselves? I'm trying to think if TP is at the top of my head. I can't think of who that would be. TP. I can't think of who that would be. I sorry, putting down to see if anybody does anybody know who TP is? Do you think TP is guilty? Team Omid, maybe? Oh, Tyler Perry. Thank you, Deborah. Thank you so much, Tyler Perry. So yeah, I couldn't think of who's that. So do you think Tyler Perry is guilty and will Harry and Meghan distance themselves? I'm not sure what exactly his if he's in. I haven't heard any news about controversies regarding him. I mean, I've heard a couple of rumors that people have stated. I haven't heard anything else. But if Tyler Perry is guilty, I don't know, because Harry and Meghan desperately need the money. I think that's what they're most interested in, is the money. And so Tyler Perry has access to a lot of money, which they don't have. So they may just go ahead and it'll all depend. So I just have such a hard time because I think they do tend to distance themselves from people who are in trouble, just like people do to them. So it'll be interesting to see how they manage things, because sometimes they're in a really challenging spot because they need advocates in Hollywood, and he could be one of their advocates. But if they damage their relationship with him or they distance themselves from him, who else do they have? Ritz says, Queen Sylvia is so cute. Happy birthday, Your Majesty. Why, yes, she is so cute. Asima says, would Charles choose between Harry and William if William gave his father an ultimatum? I mean, Charles has no reason to, like, he would have to side with William. Like, what else does he have? And again, I've said this before. It's like Meghan is a no-win scenario. Charles is never going to win, no matter how much he tries to placate her or anything like that. He will never, ever win. The best thing he can do is just to move on. I mean, I hate to say that, but that's just the case. It's just the best to move on at this point. In some ways, like, not that you totally slam the door in their face, but I think that's just something to consider as well. Wendy says, beautiful royal carols from London. Yes, I can't wait to see the Christmas concert. It should be amazing. Raz Mataz says that Prince Andrew is definitely the black sheep of the family. Harry and Meghan are liars and annoyances, but the accusations of Andrew are serious. Where there's smoke, there is fire. Probably, but again, I don't think, unless they have solid evidence, it's a he said, she said scenario. And I think some of least Victoria's, I think that's her name, validity has been challenged because people are suing her for her alleged involvement in aspects of it. And you could argue that she's a victim too, and she was just doing what she was told. Again, all of this is very complicated, but I will say again, Andrew has not been convicted of any crime. So there is that to consider as well. All right, we have Catherine. Thank you so much for the tip. One of our members. Merry Christmas. Get Miss Pippa some treats. I'm so over Harry, Meghan, and Scobie. Anyone else feel the same? Yes. I think everybody's kind of over them. I mean, they are fascinating to see. It's amazing to watch Omid Scobie try to spin his failure of a book as something sort of positive for his career when it's like a dumpster fire right now. That's fascinating. But yes, I will get Miss Pippa some treats. I actually have a special place here locally. It's actually a restaurant, and they have these dog treats that they make. They have like a little bakery attached to. And I get them from Pippa. And if you are a member, Catherine, and you might have seen the video where Miss Pippa hid the special treats. So I'm going to go out today and get some of those for not only my dog, but my sister's dog and my parents' dogs. So there are a lot of dogs in this household. We have a lot of dogs. Deandra, thank you so much for the tip. Merry Christmas to you and Miss Pip. I hope she enjoys her Christmas bones. Why, thank you. She does. And she loves hiding them. She loves bones, and she loves, again, she'll hide them wherever, like, she feels like, even if it's the corner of the wall. She's done the corner of the wall before, and I'm like, honey, that ain't gonna that's not a good hiding spot. Or in laundry. Laundry's always fun. It's like, oh, there's that pig's ear. So yeah, she enjoys hiding them. It's so cute. It's so darling. Deeply Airing says, who are these stands besides bots? I have no idea, because some of the stands and bots and stuff, they are crazy. And it's hard to, because I mean, there's sometimes where you can really tell, but other times I'm like, I don't know whether this is a real person or not. But honestly, it's just not worth you arguing with every single person in the stream or in the thread. That's what I usually like. I'll give people like a little bit of latitude, but it's like, but if you're going to attack every other person in the thread, it's like, I'm done. I'm done. I don't have time to monitor that. And B, it's just not really all that productive. Blackpink says, saw Princess Leonor's latest photo and video update showcasing her military training. She looks adorable in the ski suit, amazingly still standing out amidst the crowd in the same military outfit. Yes, she is so cute and gorgeous. And so I'm so excited to see more from her. And I can't wait to see her first tiara appearance, guys. We got an upcoming tiara appearance at some point, maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed. I don't know when. Because other royal ladies have undergone some military training, but usually they're like short stints. She's going to be there for 3.5 years. So that's huge commitment. So we shall see, but I'm looking forward to it. The Spanish collection is good, but not as good as some other royal families. So I just can't wait to see what she wears. GL Hunter 9 says, good morning, Brittany. Costa Rican vacations from ones who work like an hour a week. Much love. Ordering shirt. Merry Christmas. Thank you. Yeah, it's so them going to Costa Rica. Yeah, it's but again, I think it's just, again, the thing that I think is most disturbing is the hypocrisy of, we'll visit this other country that's likely more dangerous than going to the UK because, oh, the UK is too dangerous. It's like, no, that doesn't work. Crunchy Dragon, thank you so much for the tip. What does it mean to wrest a title? I think it just means to put it in stay, like not use it for a while. I mean, in reference to Andrew, that'll be a tough one because it depends on when William becomes king, when Louis marries, if Andrew's still alive and he still has the title of the Duke of York. It is such a historic title, so I wouldn't mind it obviously being used with Louis, but resting the Duke of Sussex title, I think everybody would be okay with. Even though I know obviously people have a strong dislike of Andrew, I personally still really like the title of the Duke of York, so I'm really hoping Louis gets it. Obviously, unless things change and perhaps even Charlotte could inherit and become the Duchess of York in her own right, that would be cool too. But I do love the idea of Louis being the Duke of York, and obviously Charlotte will be the Princess Royal. So that is so exciting. Hopefully she's learning a little bit about the Prince of Royal duties from her great aunt, who I'm sure is a very apt teacher. Per Neil Sean, the royal website will undergo some maintenance where the egomaniacs profiles may be dropped temporarily and may not return. Interesting. Yeah, I would strongly recommend that. Although I will say overall, the royal website is terribly managed. It's really terribly managed. It's so out of date all the time. And you look at the Scandinavian royals and their stuff is so good. They have photos up there you can use, like their editorial images, which is fantastic because grabbing pictures online is probably my biggest expenses. I pay for pretty much all the images and the thumbnails and in the little boxes and the videos I pay for. And, they're usually at least about $35 a pop. So that can give you an idea. Some of them are much more expensive than that. Depends on what picture I need, just to cover my tail for different things. So I do that. And yeah, it's not cheap. So pictures are one of the biggest expenses. And so I love that the Scandinavian royals, they give you all the pictures. They give you all the sorts of profile pictures. They take new ones, share them. And the Brits just don't. And I don't understand why they don't do that more. I mean, they're even stingy and say like the birthday pictures of Charlotte, George and Louis, I think can only be used for a week or maybe to the end of the year. And after that, you can't use them anymore. I'm like, why? Why, guys? Seriously. Not my choice. Gwen, thank you so much for the tip. Hi, Brittany. Have Harry and Meghan learned anything yet? What do you think it will take? Thank you. They haven't learned anything. We can tell that because they make the same mistakes over and over again. Even this 2024 announcement is basically the same thing again, like because they don't seem to want. I think there was a quote somewhere in some sort of magazine or interview or something where it says, well, we just don't like to focus on the negativity. Well, it's like, well, there's negativity and then there's constructive criticism. I think you guys are combining the two. There is something called constructive criticism, which tells you what you're doing is wrong and that you should address X, Y, and Z, and you might get better. It doesn't have to be quite that stark, but like people can give pretty good advice. I feel like I give them pretty good advice, but they don't want to address the issues that they're having and they don't want to change things. And so they just spin their wheels. And again, we got nothing in any of those 2024 announcements. So to me, it seems like they're doing anything to make themselves any better or their brand any better. I think the biggest example of that is not utilizing Archwell audio in their Christmas thing. So they're not getting paid by Spotify, so they don't care about audio anymore, that screams as well as that they never cared about audio in the first place. And as a business, I'm looking at that going, okay, so they dropped it as soon as they weren't getting money for it. They're not even pursuing it. So did they ever care about it in the first place? So if I'm not like, why would I invest someone if I'm not sure about how much they care about it? Are they just in it for the money or do they really care? Because those are big questions. Those are big questions. And Harry and Meghan have yet to address any of that. They just want people to give them money for simply existing, I think. They just feel like they deserve oodles of money for just existing. Oh, Lily, thank you so much for becoming a member. Okay. Steven says Omid is rumored to be in talks with Meghan for a collaboration. Oh, that would be funny. That would be so funny. Oh my goodness, that would be so funny. Oh gosh, what would they talk about, man? What would they talk about? I don't know. They could do a podcast together. How to be the victim and run out of sympathy or something. I don't know. Brenda says, Merry Christmas. Harry has been quiet while Meghan has been running around acting goofy. The treatment of the Queen was disgusting. Would you consider a long sleeve t-shirt or sweatshirt? Yes, I would. It would just kind of depend on the cost because some of those sweatshirts are like super expensive. And I was like, So I will look and see, but I may have to go with a different distributor at some point, but I have the place that works well for me right now, but it's probably not overall in long term, probably the best. Curious says, how do you order the shirts? I do not see the notes and how to do it. I think it's in the links. Last couple of videos, it's been in the links. And so let's see. Hold on. I'm trying to find it. There we go. I'm not sure what sizes I have left because I haven't looked at the inventory yet, but I try to get them out every day. So I just put a link in the discussion. Okay. Deidre says, Merry Christmas, Brittany, and all listeners everywhere. Thanks for all your hard work and thought out and researched news. Why, thank you. I appreciate that. And Merry Christmas to you too. And Diane Claire says, Brittany, you're exactly right. Who cares? Pap walks in Costa Rica. Unbelievable. Yeah. Yeah. But it's so typical Harry and Meghan. But again, I think sometimes I feel like people, I don't know if you guys have seen that gif of, I think it's from either Horrible Bosses 2 or a different movie. And it's that guy, I think his name is Charlie Day, an actor. And there's this huge cacophony of different math things on a board or something. And he looks crazy as he's trying to describe it. That's sometimes what I feel like I see when it comes to any pictures of Harry and Meghan and the kids. They're digesting the angles and the sizes, and the kids are wrong, and it's let's just say the kids are right and just go from there. Diane okay, Diane says, Brittany, do you think Meghan is having trouble finding a publisher for her memoir? No, because I think the deal they had with the publisher was for a certain number of books, so I don't think that's the issue. I think they're perfectly fine letting her do whatever she wants to do and damage whatever she wants to left of her reputation because it makes them money. Because here's the thing too about Harry and Meghan and the career path they've chosen is that the career path they've chosen is predicated on them throwing the family under the bus and wrecking their own reputations. That's what this career is predicated on. And so they've done that and they continue to do that. So things aren't going to get any better. So, but yeah, I don't think she's having trouble. I would imagine though, they might be doing a lot more fact checking this time around or something. I'm not sure. Christy says, Merry Christmas, Brittany. I'm glad you streamed today. I've had a rough couple of days dealing with tonsillitis and getting the flu. Oh no, I need a distraction. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better soon. Betty Gosnell says, how do you think the RF will react to the latest Jeffrey Epstein drama? I think they'll do what they've always done, which is just sort of like ducks let the water drip off their back. And I think that's the best way to handle it. Obviously, if there's something serious to address, they will, but I don't think they'll get really involved in it. Asma says, is a Dutch translator suing Scobie? Not as far as I know, but he may have to pay back some of his advance or something to cover the cost. I would make him do it. I'd be going, so what are you guys doing right now to cover my costs? Because this is his fault. It's his mistake. We can only translate what we've been given. Walter Weiser says, plus he threw honest, hardworking, self-employed women under the bus. If he gets any other job, that publication should be held accountable. Yes. But he's in LA, guys. He is now in Los Angeles trying to make his dreams come true. And he said in that New York Times interview that, well, I only ever wanted to be a byline. And I was like, oh, BS. If you really cared about being a byline, you would have been a journalist like Valentine Lowe. Valentine Lowe, I would honestly believe, only cares about being a byline in a story. He doesn't want to be part of the story. Scobie has infused himself into the Harry and Meghan story. He did that purposely. Now, maybe he's trying to walk that back a bit because it's wrecked his career, but that is his own stinking mistake. I don't think everybody else should have to pay for that. But he walked into that. He 100% walked into that. He wanted to be part of the story. Because he sees it as his story too. So I think that's totally, as somebody else said, rubbish. It is absolutely rubbish. So anyways, that's the answer to a different question. But I just saw the rubbish and I was like, oh. P Pacific said, I saw actual film of Meghan appearing to strap one child in the backseat of the SUV. Harry was with her. Yes, and it looked like they were probably getting the other child into the back of the SUV too. I know people are like, well, where's Archie? It's like, guys, this is like such a short little bit of video and photos. I'm sure he was there. Now, again, what was interesting too is the amount of people surrounding them. Yeah, sure, some of them were security, but not all of them. So it looked like they probably had nannies on the standby, housekeepers, whatever. Because again, I don't think they do too much on their own. Meghan really wants to be treated like a queen. Oh, and did you see Chrissy Teigen? I don't know. She's like a former model. She's married to John Legend. They have 4 kids, I think, and they have 4 nannies. So each child has a nanny. She doesn't really have a job, as far as I'm aware, except for posting on social media and I think some other things. But like she's not like a working model really anymore. I'm like, why do you need 4 nannies? But that's what I see Meghan as. There's a nanny per child, maybe. I'm just spitballing here. But I could totally see her having a nanny per child because, again, I think she wants to deal with the fun aspects of parenting, but I don't think she wants to do any of the hard things. Because I have never even seen her as that maternal, to be honest. That's just my opinion, though. It's Meghan, like Reagan says, very few hand holds from Harry and Meghan this year. Maybe 2024 will be the year of renewed hand grabbing. I mean, they still do it pretty frequently. But honestly, I will say, though, when I saw the picture of them in the and again, it's just such a brief shot. So you really can't read too much into it. You really can't. But I also thought it was kind of interesting. I think it was this particular picture here. It just looks like this is maybe a somewhat tense conversation or something. Yeah, I don't know why, but it just doesn't look. But again, just a brief moment. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows, guys? Who knows? But it just looks a little bit tense. Obviously, a lot of people are commenting that probably little bet shouldn't be right there, but that's neither. But I don't know. But yeah, it just looks. I don't know why it looks tense to me. It does. And Brittany, if they come to Perth, Australia, you have a residence with me. I love you and your channel. Do you have any extra small shirts left? I do, but I'm not shipping over internationally yet because it's complicated, unfortunately. I haven't quite figured it out. I feel like I need somebody to help me do it because it just seems very, very scary. So I limited it to just the US, but I do want to extend it out. But thank you so much. But if I do come to like Australia or maybe the UK, probably for the trooping or something like that, I'll try to bring some shirts with me because that might be an easier way to go about it. Okay, so let's keep going. So I do want to address this. Paul said the children weren't in Costa Rica with Harry and Meghan as claimed by people who saw Harry and Meghan only. The photos photoshopped and not good at that. They're not photoshopped. This is a pretty degraded image. Like there's just like to Photoshop this well would require a ton of work. Photoshopping works well if everybody's in like the right focus and stuff, but this is like blurry focus. The images aren't typed, so are tight. So I just do not see it possible that this is photoshopped at all. I just don't. Aw, Kate says, just woke up. Perfect way to start my birthday. Yay. And you share your birthday with Queen Sylvia of Sweden. So happy birthday. Tanya says, did Harry and Meghan think they are more entitled to... Okay, I did answer that question earlier. And the answer is yes, they do think they're more important than the Queen and 3 future kings. People care about Harry and Meghan that much. Kathy Fortenberry said, I finally made a live. I'm a new member. Yay! That's so exciting. I'm so excited that you made it. All right. Catherine says, curious Diz fan if Meghan Markle has anything to worry about. Not really. She doesn't have a ton to worry about, at least when it comes to security. Like, obviously, they have the average security risk, but I don't think they have a higher security risk than anybody else in the royal family. The only reason they would maybe is because they annoy people so much. I don't know why people should have to pay for their level of stupid when it comes to wrecking their own public reputation so badly that people dislike them. But I don't think their security risk is as grand as a king. Derek says, what's the difference between Sussexes' marriage and an advent calendar? Both are different. That's good. That's good. That's good. I like that. That is good. That is very, very good. I like that, Derek. Bravo. Great joke. I did screenshot that joke. Paul says Meghan wants to be the main star in the remake of The Bodyguard is in the news. Yeah, I've heard that a couple of times. Again, she can't act though. That's the problem. She can't act. I know that probably ruins her day, but I mean, she's really a terrible actress. I just remember seeing her stuff going, ugh. Not good. Crunchy Dragon says Andrew's questionable appetites threaten the crown. Details don't matter. He can't go back. That is true. That's true. I think his reputation is pretty wrecked, although he is doing better in terms of not making himself too much of an annoyance post getting kicked out of the Royals. Okay. Oh, we do have Terry gifted 10 Royal News Network memberships. So I thank you so much, Terry. You are so kind. I know people appreciate it. Hopefully it gives some people some joy and happiness. I mean, I'm just always so blessed that people enjoy this channel so much, because I started it just with the idea of I wanted to talk about the royal stuff I wanted to talk about, and I didn't know if anybody else would be interested. So I'm always so feel so blessed that you guys enjoy it so much, because it's really been definitely a passion project, a lot of work, but also great fun. Carrie says, good afternoon from Norway. Here in Scandinavia, we celebrate Christmas tomorrow night, the same as the English royal family. That is so lovely. I love it. Man, I did really want to go to Sweden this year, but maybe next year, because one of the trips I want to do next year is one of the Christmas market trips to Germany and Austria. It follows the same route as our Germany and Austria trip, which I also want to redo maybe in the fall, because I really enjoyed that trip. I thought the pace was awesome. So the Christmas markets, going to Munich, Salzburg, and Vienna to check out the Christmas markets. And then I'm hoping to like hang out and then go to hopefully it ends like right around the Swedish Nobels, because that would be awesome. I so want to go to the Swedish Nobels. So Deandra, thank you so much. It gifted also 5 Royal News Network memberships. Thank you so much. I know people do appreciate that this time of year. I know it's a busy and crazy time, so I appreciate it so much, guys. And we have Mega Catcher here. Is Meghan's coffee brand even selling? I wonder if her endorsement hurts or helps the brand. Honestly, never even seen the brand for sale. I think it all depends. And again, I think she gets some, oh gosh, what does she do? I think she gets some, like the stands love it, but honestly, so many other people do not. So I just don't know whether or not how much she helps. I just can't see her helping that much, to be honest. And I know I did see, I did see a question here. Catherine is asking about the trip to Scotland. So I'm going to put a link. It's in the description box, but also put a link here in the chat as well. So any thoughts on gossip King Charles making changes to royal Christmas traditions? I'm always for traditions. I love them. But if he needs to or wants to make changes, I think that's fine. I think it's fine, totally fine and appropriate to invite Camilla's family to attend. I think it seems kind of harsh to separate families so much. Like, I really felt bad for Autumn Kelly. I think that was her maiden name, or Autumn Phillips, who was Peter Phillips' wife for so many years. And they divorced about a year before Her Majesty's death. And I think Autumn and the Queen were quite close. And I'm just sort of bummed for her that she seemed so cut out from all the events. And yes, I know they're divorced and stuff, but she was part of the family. And so I do feel sorry for those who are, were part of the family and are not. And, the royal family, basically it makes or forces the members all to spend Christmas in Sandringham. And so I think to open it up for more of the extended families and stuff to attend, I think is a great way. LA Law, my daughter passed away on Christmas Eve, leaving 2 children. I'm so depressed today. Can't help them for Christmas. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Prayers for you. I'm so sorry to hear about that this year. And I'm sure that's really, really hard. So yeah, many prayers for you. We have also here, Angelina says, all the stories about the miscarriage is straight from them. The op-ed, the docudrama Spare. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. I think it's the same. It's the same as How We Met. Yes. So yeah, they always change their stories a little bit, but. Cal says, no tip, not going to have a comment to read. All right, but I did read your comment. So let's keep going through here real quick. We have M.J. Clark says, wishing you and everyone and your family and Miss Pippa a Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy New Year. Why, thank you. I am going to definitely let all of you know that Miss Pippa, when I give her bones, I'm going to tell them they are from you guys. It's Megan, like Reagan says, the First Amendment isn't just protecting free speech you like, it's allowing people to disagree with speech. knowing that your speech will also protect you when you speak in turn. Yes, correct. I think people misinterpret, because any more free speech is like, well, I don't like that speech. It's like, well, that's not what free speech is about. It's about having dialogue. That's the purpose of it. So you should be able to speak your mind about most things. Now, you can't go too far. Again, there has to be societal lines that we do agree on where it's too far to say certain things, particularly egregious things. But we should be able to like have discussions about Meghan within the royal family without it devolving into you're racist or something like that. It's like, well, no, the only one bringing up that aspect of her life and public image is you. I'm talking about actions. I'm talking about things she's done that we know for sure. So, Noble says, did you watch the last episodes of The Crown? I have not, guys. I've been behind. And so, yeah, I haven't watched it. But I tried to watch it last year and I had a hard time with it. So I stopped watching it. And the hard thing too is I usually am doing multiple things at the same time. So it was like I would have to sit down and dedicate to watching just The Crown and trying not to do too much else. And so that's hard. The Archdeacon says, hi, my package from RNN arrived yesterday. Now I have to wrap it for my mom for Christmas. Oh, yay. I'm so excited. People have gotten their gifts. I'm so excited. They're so fun to pack. And I always worry. I'm like, oh, did I get it right? Did I get everybody's out? So it is something I'm so excited about because I do love them. And I know I want to get more stuff because I know people ask. But we'll figure out. It's Megan like Reagan says, I think they won't. Didn't they use this private jet to fly to Costa Rica? Probably because they're too cheap to have their own private jet. Well, not only are they too cheap, I don't think they can afford it. Razmataz says, hi, Merry Christmas, everyone. I think it's sad that a son or daughter has to wait until a monarch dies to rule. William might abdicate so George can rule earlier. I actually would really love the British to adopt the Dutch process, which is abdicating when they feel like, and this involves everyone, feels like the next person is ready to rule. Because then the transition of power is one of joy, not one of sadness. So I don't think Charles will do it, but I wouldn't be surprised if William starts that tradition. And I think it's actually a good tradition. I like it a lot. Paul Donnan says, do you think 2024 the royal family will clear up the surrogacy issues? No, because I don't really think there's any surrogacy issues to address. I know a lot of people think differently, but I'm just not somebody who believes in the surrogacy, and I am fine with I don't think the royal family has anything to address regarding that issue. But yeah, I think I just wish the conspiracy theories surrounding that would kind of go away. Just because I don't think they help any. And at the end of the day, I don't think Charles will do anything. I don't think Charles will do anything either way. I know some people are like, well, they would be kicked out of the line of succession and everything. I don't think he'll pursue that. I think he's more than willing to bend over backwards to try to save his reputation with them. I don't think he is all that interested in delving into the surrogacy issue. So I just think that's something I think Meghan fueled, and I think fueled unintentionally in her own ridiculous attempts to control the narrative around her pregnancies, because Meghan is all about control. She's a narcissist. She is all about control. And she wanted to control aspects of her pregnancy. And I think it's just backfired massively on her. Diane said, why did Harry and Meghan need a vacation? A vacation from what? I don't know. I don't think they probably couldn't even tell you. I don't know what the two of them do all day. I mean, I probably should work harder than I do sometimes, but I work pretty much every day. I'll post stuff on Christmas for the Christmas walk and stuff. Not a bunch, but I'll probably post a little bit. But it's like, what did they do all the day? I don't know. Christine gave a super sticker. Thank you so much, Christine, one of our members. I do appreciate it. Asma says, innocent until proven guilty, so put down the pitchforks. It is true. And when it comes to Andrew, I think it is true. He probably did some not so great things, but we don't have any concrete proof either. And Matthew says, when is the next Tiara event? For certain, it is the Danish New Year's Day. I can't remember if it's New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. I think it's New Year's Day. They have a tiara event at the palace. So they have that every year. Okay. Vix Anna says, we absolutely love watching you. Can you do your best Meghan Markle impression for your biggest fans in Kensington, London? I don't know if I could do, I don't know what, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not good at impressions, but she does the fist bump. Oh, that's probably from that video. I don't know. I'm probably not very good at that. So, okay, so let's keep going here. Ella says, "Did you hear Princess Beatrice on a podcast saying we were raised not to overshare?" No, I haven't heard that, but that makes sense. That would be something that would be instilled in all the royals, I think, from an early age. It's like you can share, but just be careful. Don't overshare. Like, be cautious of your relationships. And it's sad to see that Harry's just basically completely thrown that to the wolves and everything. But yeah, I think that makes sense to be cautious about your relationships and what you share, because and it's a security risk too. You can't overshare either. Be careful about saying exactly where you're going, and I could definitely see that being part of their life. Betty says, if something happened to King Charles and William became king, would other titles change right away? When it comes to Prince George, yes, he would automatically become the Duke of Cornwall. And he would, whenever his father determines that point, would be given the title the Prince of Wales. The Prince of Wales title is one bestowed. Duke of Cornwall is one automatically given. And there's a couple other titles that are a part of that as well. And when it comes to, let's say, Charlotte, she would not automatically become the Princess Royal. If Anne's still alive, Anne would still hold that title, and it would be something bestowed on her by her father, and same with any dukedom. So, I don't think any other titles really would change. It's just basically in that main line. Huh. Amy says, I heard that Louis will inherit the Duke of Edinburgh title. It would be very apt. Thank you for your amazing channel. Merry Christmas to everyone. I could see that happening. I could see that. I mean, I could understand, especially if Andrew's still alive, they can't use the Duke of York's title. Duke of Edinburgh is a bigger one. The question would be, which is interesting, is if Louis' son could inherit the title. That would be an interesting, if he had a son, that would be an interesting question. Because obviously, the Earl of Wessex James will not inherit that title. And I could understand because it's a big title, and yeah. So, but I don't know. Dory says, hi, hey there, Miss Brittany and Miss Pippa. Merry Christmas all. Do you think Harry and Meghan will get kicked out of WME? Seriously, disappear for 2024? I don't know if they'll disappear, but will they get kicked out? Maybe. I would be incredibly frustrated with them if I was their PR person, because I'd be like, you please stop. Please stop. Can you please stop like being in the news all the time? Can you please stop with like this ridiculous like coffee video and stuff? Like, it appeals to the people you already appeal to. Your problem is everybody else. So World Trend says, a new sub here. Do you think she will be dropped by WME? Similar question. I wouldn't be surprised if she is dropped by them at some point. Like, what commercial deals is she gaining for them? And if she is in the process of doing something like Goop and it's in development hell, then will she come back and like, when will that finish? I don't know. Rich says, I still chuckle when I see her enter to that stupid podcast where she comes on and says, hi, it's me. Oh my goodness, it's priceless. It is. She's so bad. She's so contrived. She really I think the big thing Meghan Markle really needs to do is to let go of her control issues. She just needs to be herself. She's too interested in controlling everything to be natural. And it shows. It really does. Mimi Mommy says, got my t-shirt. Love it. Yay. I'm so excited. Christine says, Brittany, I don't know if you've read the book or not, but I recommend this book, Spying in the Crown. Ooh, that sounds interesting. That sounds very interesting. Sometimes I buy books based on just the title alone because I like the title. Not the best way to buy books, but Jojo West Aussie artist says, question, Britt, when are you coming to Australia? Well, I was really hoping Catherine and William would do a tour of Australia later this year, especially with the kids. I think that would be amazing. Obviously, if they are doing a tour of Rome in the spring, that would not be happening. So maybe in the fall. I mean, I guess I could go. Charles and Camilla are supposedly going to go. I could go to that. I just don't feel like that, especially without the, having the young kids and stuff. It's just a lot of money to spend. And I think the returns would be better if it was Catherine and William and the kids. So that would depend. If there's a reason to go, I would definitely go. Because I really do want to really want to do it. Deandra says, hi all, when is the members only live? It'll probably be in the next couple of weeks. We finished out our lives for this year. And so we will be getting a new schedule here pretty soon. Hannah says, question, if the Sussexes went back 4 months out of the year, would they? Because that has been posited. Like, yeah, I could. I mean, I think would be good. But yeah, very interesting. Azima says, why do they have multiple nannies? This is for John Legend and Chrissy Teigen. They have 4 nannies and 4 children because they don't want to really care for their children. They want somebody else to do that for them. So they have nannies, one for each child. So yeah, I always think that's really, I mean, I understand like you need some help, but I think it's a lot. Tori Meyer said, do you think a child Archie's age would want an expensive camera that the Queen had? No. Yeah, I need to listen to that quote because I haven't listened to it I want to listen to the entire interview that Meghan did with Mason Harriman. But when it comes to the camera, yeah, that's weird. I thought that was weird. Because I have a camera down here that costs a pretty penny, and I would not let a child hold it. I even let one of the girls who went on my trip with me. We were in like the bathroom. I think it was that where we were at one of the palaces or something, and I was like, "Can you hold my camera?" And she's like, "I get to hold Brittany's camera." I was like, "Don't drop it. It's very expensive." And she's like, she took good care of it and everything. But I just thought it was so cute because it is very expensive. And when you have an expensive camera, like if it breaks and damages, like, that's thousands of dollars down the drain. And I would be really, really hesitant to let any child under the age of maybe 16 hold my camera, to be honest. Because it ain't cheap, especially when you add on the lens, you're talking several $1,000s. In some cases, you could be closing in on like 10 grand. That's in that camera. There was a video I saw, and this is kind of going off on a tangent, but there was this video I saw of like, it was some prank and the guy was filming and the guy shoves the guy with a nice camera, like I have a DSLR, into a pond in London. And he's like, what did you do? You just damaged my camera. And the guy's like, oh, no. It's like, dude, seriously, why in the world would you do that to somebody with a really nice camera? Well, why would you do that anyways? But let alone somebody with, a camera that could probably cost a couple $1,000s because they could go, yeah, you owe me a couple $1,000s now for your prank. It's like, good going. So yes, I am protective as anybody should be who has expensive camera stuff, other equipment, and not letting children mess with it. Hannah says, question, if the Sussexes went back 4 months out of the year, would they get security they want and be, internationally protected persons? So this is extending the argument. No, they would not. They have been removed from that. They were removed from that via REVIC. I can't remember what the acronym stands for, but it's basically an organization within the government that determines who is an internationally protected person, who deserves that status. Harry and Meghan as non-working royals is constitutionally irrelevant, as Omid Scobie has told us multiple times now, do not need that status. They don't need that protection. Tori says they need nannies because they are lazy, and so they'll be stuck with more crazy, angry, self-indulgent humans. Probably. World Trend says, do you see how the kids are not changing inside its stage and they're renting these kids for a photo shoot? No, I don't totally buy that. I think Lily looks fine. Like last time we saw her was with Harry, and she looked very similar. And yes, she's probably grown a bit, but she might be small for her age. And Meghan is smaller than Harry, so it might not seem like she's grown a lot because Meghan is a different size than Harry, and so there's a perspective issue. So again, it makes infinitely more sense than just to go, it's their kids, and not go too far the other way. Jane Bucks fan says maybe one of the nannies is for Harry. He needs an emotional support dog, so why not a nanny? That is so true. That's so true. Well, he was looking for a mother figure. That's why he married Meghan. He wanted a mother figure. So Catherine says that, hey, Britt, can you send me some information on your account? I can't find trip or t-shirts, etc. I found where you can become a member, but that's all I really want to go on the trip. Well, I did put a link in the chat and everything, and also in the description box of this video and my other recent videos. You can find all that information. It's linked down below. Britt says, I love how the Princess of Wales in Coronation robe owned her role in history as the boss lady in waiting, which Meghan and Harry could not handle. Totally true. James Wright says, Brittany, are you watching the Christmas concert in the U.S.? Love when you get that pic with Catherine. Yes, I will be watching probably in BritBox. I mean, it depends because we'll be going over to my sister's because her husband's birthday tomorrow. So we will be probably having dinner or something. So I may, I'll pull it up though and probably watch it and record it. At least I could last time when I did it. And unless BritBox has changed things. So I'm super excited about it though. Should be an amazing concert. MB says, I know I'm late, but did you see the new video today from Sweden with Queen Sylvia? Yes, I did. It was so sweet. I think the Swedish do a great job on their social media, and they do a great job really capturing events and stuff and sharing it with the media, which is just so, so helpful. I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate them doing that. It just so helps me and other like journalist people, especially when, again, you don't have to pay for the pictures. Paying for the pictures is so expensive. Like Getty Images, a small image from Getty Image is $175. Big image is it's $500. So let's, I was going to show you guys here real quick, this really sweet picture. I'm just going to download it real quick from the Swedes have a download system for their images. So we shall see. And it's all the Queen's grandchildren. I'm so excited that all her grandchildren are there because some of them live in Florida, believe it or not. Marlise says, hey, Brittany, do you think the royal family hated Meghan from the beginning? I don't think they hated her. I think they were, though, cautious. I think they were nervous. She made them nervous. And I understand why she made them nervous. I think they saw through some of the BS already and were just a little bit unnerved and just wondering, is she really in this for Harry or does she in it for the money? Because I think that was a big question they had for sure. Renee gave a super sticker. Thank you so much, Renee. I really do appreciate it. And hold on just 1 second. Let's go and show off all the grandchildren of the Swedish Queen because I do love the Swedes, guys. Not going to lie, I do love the Swedes. All right, there we go. Isn't that sweet? So we have, oh gosh, Prince Alexander, Prince Oscar. That's Prince Nicholas. Oh gosh, is it Julian's? Gabriel, Prince Gabriel, Princess Estelle, Princess Adrian, Princess Leonor, and then Prince Julian there in the bottom, who's playing with something else. I think that's such a sweet picture for Queen Sylvia's 80th birthday. So, yes, it's so exciting. So Elizabeth said, I heard the children were not in Costa Rica. The pictures are not current. They are from last year because the children have not grown. Again, I don't totally buy that. Again, I think perspective could be an issue here. Diane says, another year, another barrage of rebrands for Harry and Meghan. Where can they turn at this point, Brittany? I think they just need to, drop the titles and make amends with the royals and then move on from there. I think that's their best move, actually. Because right now it ain't working. And the longer they go about not reconciling with the family, the worse I think they look. Because everybody understands at this point, why would you focus on other people? So Brittany, would you share any new items coming to your channel in 2024? So I want to do something, I want to do more shorts next year. And so doing more like other royal news and shorts and different things. And I thought it'd be fun to do like a question of the day type thing with the short, because people ask me questions and I always find it interesting. And I never, sometimes there's just not a great place for it. So trying to figure out how to do that a bit more. And then just expanding, obviously, the newsletter and offerings and the memberships and everything, growing the fashion channel. So I have a lot of ideas, and I'm still trying to formulate and getting everything together and figuring out definitely how to bring you guys more with me sometimes, especially members on the trips and everything, because I think that is super exciting. But yeah, so hopefully keep coming with new items. And if you guys have any ideas, feel free to share, and I will like figure out what we can do that is best. And sometimes I wonder too, and I was spitballing this, I think with the video I was filming last night, I was like, I wonder if I should open up a channel just for like the other European royals, because this one, obviously people love the Harry and Meghan and the drama surrounding the Brits, but some of the European royals don't get as much love. But some people could not like the Harry and Meghan stuff that much, so they don't want to watch the main channel. So, because the other stuff is more inconsistent. So we shall see. I have tons of ideas, guys. I always have tons of ideas. It's always getting the chance, the time and opportunity to execute them that becomes generally my problem. Luann says, wishing everyone a very Merry Christmas. B, love your channel and best place for truthful updates on the royals. You have the best videos also. Please don't change your values. Why, thank you. Yes, I won't. I developed them through years of just like researching and everything that I like to keep. And it might not be to everybody's like, but I have my particular editorial standards that I stand by, and I think that's important. Lily says, Meghan told not to mention dating Harry in Vanity Fair article. Did because afraid Harry would fall Rihanna on his Caribbean tour in Barbados and drop her. Probably not. I don't think that would be a strong contention, but I'm sure the royals were aghast when they saw that Wild About Harry article. They were like, okay, that wasn't really great. Because again, you need subtlety, you need discretion in royalty. Meghan did not have any of those qualities, still doesn't. Bren W says, so laughable that Harry thinks our First Amendment is bonkers when he and Princess Harry say such crazy things like fake NY car chase. Yes, he doesn't understand. You don't get it. He does not get it. Tori says, Brittany, any new things you can mention next year for the channel? Like I said, kind of the question and answer pieces, I think would be great. Obviously, more shorts. And I may try to figure out how to do maybe every couple of days or something. And I might use StreamYard or a different platform to give like an overview of other royal news, because I kind of dropped that section on my videos, not because I didn't want to do it, but because sometimes I think it was taking too long to get to the meat of the video and people weren't enjoying that. So I didn't think it would, I was like, well, let me figure out maybe a way to streamline that. But I still want to cover the other things as well. So figuring out how to do that, we may try a couple of different things, but I have an idea. And so hopefully we shall see, and just more opportunities, maybe more merch, and just trying to do different things, different fun things. We shall see. Philippa Hussein says, I'm delighted to catch a live. Love listening to you. Have a wonderful Christmas, Brittany. Why, thank you. Why, thank you so much. LH says, inheritance of titles should be gender neutral. Charlotte should inherit a dukedom. I think that would be cool. Not gonna lie, I think that would be really cool. Steven says, one of our members, thank you so much for being a member. Why would King Charles risk Harry and Meghan recording his private phone call, as in the mockumentary showed phantom texts from William and others? I mean, that's a great question. That's why I wouldn't have, I'd be super worried about ever having a conversation with Harry and Meghan, just because you don't know if they're recording things or not. You just don't know. And so it's just so hard to trust them in so many ways. And it's like, no wonder the family's not close with them. Like, seriously, what could they do? It's just not a good thing for anyone. So it'll be interesting to see how things move in the future in a lot of ways. But yeah, but again, too, they sent letters, and letters are terrible. Like, don't put things in text. Why would you put them in a letter? that way, they sit there. Now the letter about the alleged royal racist has to be in a vault or something. Like, it's just bad news. Renee says, Merry Christmas, Brittany. Enjoying the live. Can't wait to see what the new year is going to be. An interesting year for Harry and Meghan. I really do think it could be their make it or break it year. This year was a disaster. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah. How things go. Trisha says, I hope you have renter's insurance and have your expensive equipment, including cameras on it. Yes, I do. Kathy says, Meghan's interview with Mason Harriman is awful. Nothing but BS, word salad. 100%. I would imagine that's what it is. So I wasn't looking forward to watching it terribly. But Gwyneth says, what is your favorite Meghan cringe moment? I think it was really her like giddy expression at the Ms. Awards, like leaving and then getting in that ridiculous paparazzi chase. That was like the stupidest thing I'd ever heard. They're like, because everybody's like, a paparazzi chase 80 miles an hour in Manhattan? Like, nobody came to their defense. That's the thing too. No celebrity came to their defense. They were all like, what are these guys talking about? It was so funny. So, Sherry says, will we be able to see the behind the scenes coronation thing on BritBox? I'm hoping so. I'm really hoping so. Nana says, people, you need to click on the thumbs up to give Brittany credit. Only 320 have done so. Why, thank you. That's very sweet. I always forget to say. I know people say stuff. I always forget. Okay, so let's keep going here. Chris says, they will not get back to the royal fold once trust is broken. That is it. Yes, I don't think they'll ever get trust again fully. And Princess Leonor was so sweet taking care of Prince Julian. Yes. Oh my gosh, they are all so sweet. So nice to see all of them together and exciting because Princess Madeline's children should be back in the Sweden next year. And so it'll be interesting to see like if they struggle with that going from like sunshine and warm temperatures to like the frigid cold of Sweden. But they're young enough where they may adjust pretty easily. It might be hard for Leonor because she probably remembers more of Florida and stuff. And Princess Adrian, that's really all she's ever known. So it'll be, again, interesting to see how they do it. But I just do think that picture's so sweet. It's Megan says, that's when I realized Harry really wasn't so smart when he called the First Amendment bonkers. That was my last straw. Yeah, he's not a bright guy. He's not a bright guy. I used to think he was a bit of a dummy with a heart of gold. Now I just think he's kind of a dummy. Louisa says, Brittany, if they strip off the titles from Harold, will that be the title given to somebody else? Maybe it'll just be put in like a status suspension unless they decide to use it again. Hannah says, question, what was the piece of jewelry Charles wore in the recent Fab Four picture after the Endgame came out? Oh, it was probably his Order of the Garter. Sorry, I'm looking up the picture here real quick. And okay. Thing I wish for Christmas for the royals is if they would give us better pictures. Yeah, so it's part of his Order of the Garter. I think he has an older piece of jewelry attached to it there, and it might be something that he inherited from the Queen. It might be his. I'm not entirely sure. Because there are obviously, I mean, there's so much stuff in the British collection. But if you can see this picture here, I believe you're talking about this. This is part of, I think, maybe the Order of the Garter as well. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, those are the only pieces of jewelry I see, and they are all connected to the Order of the Garter there, I'm sure. Well, this one for sure. I'm not sure about this one. Some sort of medal, because William doesn't have one, and he's also a member of the Order of the Garter. And I guess this stomacher was determined to be from the Grenville estate that has gifted the royal family with so much jewelry. So, and in case we should, we got this picture up here. So we can have Catherine in there too. Look, isn't that pretty? I still love that dress. That's a fabulous dress. I love that dress. So Azima says, do you need Moz? Probably at some point. And Hannah says, you need a virtual assistant. Probably, yeah. Because I'm not a very personally, I'm just not a very organized person. Like I am in some ways I'm not. And so it is hard for me to keep up with everything sometimes, mostly because I struggle sometimes with keeping myself on task. So Becky says, no ones who speak ugly here trying to cause trouble. Omid blocks Brittany. He did. He blocked me though before I was even a bit like I had never directly challenged him or posted against him in any way. Like I would take screenshots of his things, but I would never, I never bothered him. But I was like, oh, you're doing that to me, and I'm not even bothering you. Scobie has said he is doing a book with Meghan Markle. Oh gosh. Paula's YouTube channel says she's from around there and she has a friend in tourism that said Perry and Meghan were in Costa Rica without the children. Interesting. It'll be. Catherine says, tell us more about the jewelry. Add it to your agenda, please. Yes. So I will want to do that in the fashion channel. So I do a lot of that in the fashion channel just because I think people enjoy it and enjoy it more. And some people might enjoy that and not enjoy the Harry and Meghan stuff. That's why I did the fashion channel separately. And I also found that when I would do, I wanted to do Fashion Fridays, but there's big news on Friday. So I had to push the fashion stuff back because I need to get to the news. And then it becomes a long, overly raw game. And so it's just didn't need to do that. So I created the fashion channel, which is doing well. It's Megan says Brittany got preemptively blocked. Omid is so silly. Yeah, because I didn't even bother the guy. Did not bother him at all. Would point out his hypocrisy sometimes, but did not bother him. The king also is a knight commander of the Victorian Order. Harry is also one, so it makes him sir as he's knighted. Yeah, and that would make sense with the little, because Harry has a similar thing he wears around his neck. Jessica says, hey, hello, Brittany. Do you think it's true they're trying to move to LA and leave Montecito to be close to Hollywood? I addressed that in my video. It's entirely possible, but I don't know either. But I always said too, I think it was an incredibly stupid move to Montecito in the first place because you are 2 hours removed from Los Angeles, the place where you allegedly want to work. Why would you do that? That's just dumb. All right, guys. So we will go ahead and wrap this up here in a minute. Asma says, I volunteered to be a mod. We may have to do that at some point. We shall see because, oh my goodness, sometimes so much going on. And CPH Milano says, it must be exhausting living with such an enormous level of fakery and jealousy. No wonder they don't do much work. Yeah, I totally agree. And then we do have Nana wishing everyone a blessed and Merry Christmas, especially anyone alone or unwell. Love and care. That is so sweet. And that we will end on that note. So Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope you have a wonderful time with your friends and family. And I hope that you were able to have connections with anyone and just enjoy the holiday season and that opportunity to be just remembering the birth of Jesus. I think that's so exciting and amazing. And I just love church around this time of year. It's so wonderful. So guys, again, thank you so much for watching. Have a blessed and Merry Christmas. And I will see you guys again super soon. Bye.